Disclaimer notice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. All information in this video is not based on fact. It is all alleged, based upon my intuition, my opinion, what I believe my tarot cards are telling me. I encourage each and every one of you to do your own research, form your own opinions. After all, I'm just a blonde throwing cards. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are in the world or whenever you watch this video. Today we're going to be talking about the inauguration that is coming up on January 20th and this sentencing that is supposed to happen prior to the inauguration. It's like the judge ruled that he was going to sentence Trump. Now, I'm not sure what day that is. I have not even looked it up. But if it's already happened, I don't know. But I will look it up after the reading. And as I'm shuffling, I want to address one thing. I had somebody email me. And they wanted to know why I'm not reading reversals. Almost like, not like I used to. Almost like the tone of the email, they wanted to make me sound unauthentic because I won't read reversals. Well, there's a lot of tarot readers that's not reading reversals. I read reversals when my guides tell me to. I don't need reversals. I feel I don't need them, especially with this new 9-card spread that I have fallen in love with, where I can assign a specific question to each position. And if you watched the last couple videos, I really didn't need clarification cards either. It's just like this whole idea with this 9-card spread for the tarot aspect came to me in a dream. And the readings, I feel, have been right on it. Okay? So, to answer your question, I have positions lined up in the 9 cards that cover the shadow side of the card. So, like, for instance, in a negative position, if the sun shows up as an obstacle, you know, that could be the reversed aspect of the sun. It's the shadow side. It's like not seeing things clearly, or something being exposed that somebody doesn't want exposed. You know, that's just an example. And I decided to address that as I shuffle the investigations deck. Because I just want to see the energy around this sentencing, if there is some kind of other agenda here for doing it before the inauguration. Okay, I'm just going to pull some cards from the top. This is a distraction. Oh my God, this is the Magician. It's not as it seems. I am safe now. Okay, so the alarm bells are coming down a little bit here. Innocent. Powerful person involved. And I'm going to draw one more card. Person is known. Okay. So this is kind of telling me that there is a powerful person involved that is known to the public. And there's a card underneath there I did not see. That was hiding, which is something was seen. Okay. That's a good way. There's a reason why that card was hiding. Somebody was trying to hide something in regards to agenda, motives, something to that sort, when it came to the inauguration, when it came to sentencing of, I'm just going to call it like it is. No negative comments, because you will be deleted from my channel. You will be blocked. Okay? I'm just telling you that now. I'm reading the cards. Because my guys are saying bogus charges. Okay? On bogus charges, because the innocent card is underneath. Something was seen. Okay? And I'm pulling these two cards together because there were some kind of scenario there that a lot of people go through. And it's like they're saying he didn't pay some of his taxes. Well, you know what? It's based on the income. But we're not going to go into his charges. We're just going to say that there were some of the bogus charges that he was actually innocent of. Not all 34. Okay? I'm just saying. But there is a well-known person. This could even be futuristic. But somebody, it's going to be known who is behind this. A powerful person that is known in the public who was hiding true motives, but something was seen, some kind of evidence was seen, and now they got to downplay it. This is saying, this, I am safe now, is saying, it feels like I'm not going to jail, I'm not going to prison, and that basically this whole sentencing was designed to distract the public, because it feels like that there was something going to be pulled as far as an inauguration was concerned. Now, somebody saw something associated with something behind the scenes. Now, they got to kind of switch gears as far as sentencing of Trump. Okay. That really makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now, for this reading, I am using What Would Trump Do tarot deck. Love this deck for readings when it comes to Trump. And we're going to throw out my 9-card box spread. I did do some pre-shuffling ahead of time. I'm just going to shuffle a couple more times on screen just to get a good mix. Okay. I'm going to lay them face down, and I will turn each one over. Okay. Actually, my guy says no, go ahead and... No, I'm face down. Okay, well, no. My guides are telling... There's like conflicting instructions here. I'm going to tell you the positions. Okay? Starting in the top, far left. What events or circumstances led to the decision? Okay? What is the deeper motive behind the timing of the sentencing? What role did unseen or hidden influences play in this decision? And there is definitely something hidden. That was obvious with that card hiding behind things. And I pulled it out. I'm like, oh, this makes total sense. Middle row. How will the sentencing affect Donald Trump's ability to be inaugurated as president? Middle card. What is the energy surrounding the sentencing proceedings in this moment? Card 6. How are key political players reacting to the sentencing and its timing? Now, for the final row, final and bottom row, last 3 cards, is what will happen at the inauguration itself in light of the sentencing. What impact will the sentencing have on Donald Trump's presidency if inaugurated? That's a big if. Is this going to stop? Is somebody trying to stop the inauguration? And then lastly, how will this event influence the collective energy and the direction of the country moving forward? And then I will also pull the card from the bottom of the deck, which is the shadow energy. And it kind of reveals the underlying, often hidden truth of the most critical insight about the situation as a whole. Okay? So, we're going to go ahead, start turning these cards over, and we're going to dig into this reading. Let's take a look at the shadow card first. Under the deck, we have the 8 of Cups. This is going on a journey or walking away from something. It is a shadowy card, and it can indicate emotional detachment and seeking a higher meaning. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the reading, to be honest. And it's leading into something that may be a major transition for him, a departure of a situation. It could be Trump's own journey, the collective emotional climate, or a pivotal point in how the situation is being handled on a broader scale, a broader spectrum here. Okay, the top row does represent some past influences, what led up to where things are. Okay, the first card is the Chariot. Now, the Chariot represents a sense of control. And represents a sense of determination and moving forward despite challenges. And this suggests that there is a deliberate and forceful effort to push through legal or political barriers. And it kind of reflects Trump's assertiveness and his approach, or the legal system's resolve to maintain order and control. That's what that's coming up as. And that is like the events or circumstances in making the decision to sentence Trump prior to the inauguration. And, you know, like I said when I was shuffling, the way I do these readings now, it may have taken me 1.5 years to really figure out my stride, but I think I got it. I may still borrow Alicia's spread for specific questions sometimes, but let's move forward. The center card. What is the deeper motive behind the timing of this? And we have the 2 of Pentacles. And it kind of makes me think of balance. It makes me think of somebody went back and forth about this decision. Intuitively, I get that somebody may have put pressure on the judge to sentence him. I get this impression that the judge really didn't want to at this time. He kind of wanted to wait, but I feel he had to weigh certain options, like a threat may be put forth towards him. I'm picking up an energy. As you all know, I scry my crystal ball. I'm picking up an energy that somebody may have threatened to end his career. So he was kind of going back and forth with this. And the whole thing about this sentencing was very complex. And like I said, certain people influencing the judge to make that decision to sentence Trump before the inauguration. It could point to the need to weigh the political, legal, and public optics of this. And I think that's what that judge was doing. And I feel that his career was on the line. Okay? Now, the third position is, what role did unseen or hidden influences play in this decision? Okay? So, that is, oh my God, the Hierophant. I shit you not. Institutions, traditions, and rules. Okay? Now, this Hierophant is representing the legal and government systems that are at play, hidden behind the scenes. And this is emphasizing the institutional weight behind the sentencing decision. Like I said, pressure being put on the judge from somebody high up to do this sentencing. Bullshit. That is bullshit to me. That is somebody still trying to undermine the fucking voters' decision. The voters voted for Trump. They wanted him in office. And still, his opposition are still trying to find a way to keep that from happening. Because if you go back to past readings, past political readings, there's a hidden agenda. Okay? A hidden agenda. Now, moving to this middle row. This is more present energy. This is what led up to the decision. As the judge was going back and forth. Do I or don't I? Do I wait before or after the inauguration? Now, this is the present row. And in this row, we have, how will this affect Donald Trump's ability to be inaugurated? What's the energy surrounding the sentencing at the moment? And the key political players. So let's take a look at what we have here. In the middle row, this is an extra card in this deck. This is kind of like, this is the 0-0 card. This is the wild card. What would Trump do in this situation? Okay. This is kind of like, how is this going to affect Trump? What is he going to do? Okay. And it kind of highlights the unpredictability and the chaotic nature of the current situation. And it's asking the public to consider Trump's character and his actions as pivotal to what unfolds next. So it's how Trump handles it. And this is saying Trump has a plan. He has a plan. And he has the American people, the American people's interest in mind. And now, how's it going to affect him? It's going to depend. It's kind of, it feels like it's up in the air. It's going to depend on how Trump reacts to this. And it kind of worries me with his 8 of Cups here. It's almost like, is he going to walk from this and let Vice President step in? because we also have the Nine of Wands. This is almost like exhausting him to the point where I can't deal with this anymore. And I think that that's part of the strategy here. They're trying to get him to give up and walk away. If we put enough pressure on Trump, we wear his energy down, maybe he will abandon his ideas and come on board with our ideas, or he'll walk away from the presidency altogether. Now, what we have, is in this position is we have the Fool energy. Okay? Now, as I said, this is representing what's the deeper motive behind the timing of this sentencing. And with the Fool energy here, the Fool, when you think about the nature of the Fool, it does represent new beginnings. It does represent taking a step towards the unknown, taking that leap of faith, taking risks, and it's suggesting a fresh start or an entirely new direction as a result of the sentencing. It could mean that Trump's next move or the nation's journey into uncharted territories. It would be a first in history. And does that mean that Vance actually gets inaugurated? It's kind of like there's a change in trajectory here. It's making me nervous. But he's got a plan that if he has to walk away from the presidency, okay, he's still got a plan. He still has J.D. Vance in his back pocket, or J.D. Vance has Trump in his ear, okay? They are on the same page. So whatever happens here with the Fool, a new trajectory, something unseen before, he's got a backup plan. Let me tell you that. He's got a backup plan. Now, moving forward to this third card. This is how are the key political players reacting to this sentencing. Okay. Now, we've got, oh my God, this is great. This is wonderful. I love it. Three of Swords. Couldn't happen to better people, right? The Three of Swords is a disappointment. A new trajectory. Oh my God, I just saw this. He's not going to jail like they have hoped. I'm seeing prison bars here, maybe. And this undercurrent is more about I feel the energy behind the sentencing. Let's get Trump out of here. Let's get him behind bars. Let's have that Fool energy of a new direction. But the Fool energy is backfiring on them. Because they're heartbroken, they're disappointed. Trump has a plan that is going to keep him out of jail. And it's going to he is going to make history with this. And the other politicians involved, okay, behind the scenes. It is like an emotional weight that is spread among the political people, congressmen, senators, whomever is against Trump, is suggesting that this timing, sentencing and timing, is bringing disappointment. It's going to bring division. and betrayal by some parties involved. It's almost like, and this could go both ways. Currently, the Trump supporters feel that this is a betrayal, that this is so wrong. But there's a division among the political community. But I feel the outcome of trying to sentence him is going to be disappointing. Now, because their agenda is to try to get him out of the way and behind bars. But the Constitution, the law, does not say that a convict, that somebody in jail cannot leave the country. He can't be impeached because he's not in office yet. I'm getting other messages that somebody put pressure on that judge, to do the sentencing, but somebody didn't think that through, because the other option would have been after inauguration, and it's still not an impeachment, though, because he wasn't in office. Okay, let's move forward to the bottom row. Okay, the next card that we're going to turn over, it represents what will happen at the inauguration itself in light of this sentencing. And we have the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands is usually it's usually a positive message. And it's inspiring new ideas and its messages. And this is kind of telling me that at this event will spark new conversations, initiations, or actions. It could point to someone stepping forward with a bold message or plan. So, whether Trump actually goes to jail, it is a possibility because this is in the shadows. This could be shadowy goals, or it could be something that actually happens. But it's almost like his opposition gets partially what they want, but not fully what they want. Because there is some kind of inspirational message that comes through, some kind of plan of action in terms of this at the inauguration in regards to the sentencing. Now, I may have to draw a few more cards for clarification to see if he's actually going to go to jail. I think it's undecided right now, at this moment. But there is some kind of plan of action here. Now, the next card over here is, what impact will this sentencing have on Donald Trump's presidency if inaugurated? The Moon. Uncertainty. This is going to invoke fear into some people. It's warning of hidden motives and confusion around the inauguration, and that not everything will be as it seems. Some truths may still remain hidden. This is making me think. I'm sorry, I hate to say this. I will get clarifying cards. Trust me. But this is making me think He's going to be in a jail cell, but he may make an appearance in front of everybody for an inauguration. It's like he's sentenced to prison, to jail, but it's being obscured from the public eye. Maybe the public not knowing that he's going to have to serve his term in jail, but there's something there like an illusion. It's like a typical inauguration, but there's things under the surface that's hidden. It's almost like, yeah, you've been sentenced in jail, but you're not going to tell the American people that you've been in jail. But don't discard this unpredictability card of Trump. Okay? What would Trump do in this situation? It feels like he's going to play along, but there's something that's going to backfire on those trying to imprison him and sentence him before inauguration. Okay, now, this one is the effect on the collective. Basically, how will this event influence the collective energy and the direction of the country moving forward? Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady. So the country as a whole is going to be making progress, stable progress forward out of uncertainty. Okay, so this is making me think that there's persistence and steady progress. Being practical. It almost makes me think everybody's going to think that he's going to blow up and create chaos out of this. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing more of him taking a practical approach to this. Something that his opposition doesn't expect. Just saying. But this card is hinting of a long-term practical outcome after a bunch of chaos. But it's slow but deliberate rebuilding process post-inauguration. I'm feeling like this Eight of Cups is ringing true of other aspects as well, of I'm walking away from this chaos. It's like all the empty cups, all the negativity, and he's going on this new journey. He's going to be making history. Okay? So, what I want to ask for sure, they told me don't do that. Okay, why? I don't know. I'm being told to wait and look at the cards for a moment. Mirror. Okay. They're saying there's other messages I may not have to do clarifiers. Give me a second here. The Chariot and Knight of Pentacles do mirror each other. And this is a determined push forward. And it eventually stabilizes the country as we move forward, and Trump. So that's just a reinforcement that things are going to stabilize after this inauguration. But it doesn't mean that everybody's going to be happy about it. The Two of Pentacles and the Moon are mirroring each other. The need for balance and to balance priorities. It kind of ties into that confusion, the hidden truths, the decisions made now might lack a little bit of clarity. Because it's almost like what I get is this panic, this last push of the opposition. Let's sentence him now and see if we can keep him out of office. It creates this chaos, but I'm telling you, it feels like it's going to backfire. And the Hierophant mirrors the Page of Wands, going from here to here. Okay, that's another thing. Now I understand why Spirit told me not to pick out the cards. There was more here. This is suggesting that the government may try to put some kind of creative spin on things, and there could be a clash of the old way and new ways, new ideas. There's like I'm feeling like a young energy in government that wants some kind of reform, and that's part of this. It's like if this young energy that I'm picking up on, you look, Trump is right in the middle pointing at you. Take out the fool. There he is. There will be new energy with Trump being in office, but there is a young politician. I don't know who he would be. Maybe some of you viewers might know. But this young politician has his own ideas, and I feel it's male. Could be female with a very masculine energy. But they're young. They may even be new into the political game, and they're not experienced. But they're partially pushing for Trump to be out. Because if Trump is in, Trump is standing in the way of this new politician from coming into power or trying to push their own agenda. Okay. Anything else? Let's see if there's any significance with knighting that makes any sense here. They're not knighting. But I'm seeing a connection between the Fool and the Moon. Risks taken leads directly to uncertainty or exposure of hidden truths. So I'm getting this whole idea that this sentencing prior to inauguration was a risk. And you know, I said that desperation, we got to do something to see if we could keep him out of office. And it was a risk that has brought about a lot of uncertainty here. Okay? And in the process, there's communication. Now, there's restoration of stability coming after that. And then there's communication here. So it's like somebody's going to blow the whistle and expose some kind of hidden truth, some kind of hidden agenda. And after that, that exposure is going to leave a lot of disappointment. And I think some of the politicians that's behind it, and I just got to say this, might be people that you, I, or others might respect. And I'm feeling a shock factor, that we're going to be shocked at who's behind it. And it's going to be a lot of disappointment and sadness as a result. And the Three of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles here, that the pain of the present moment is actually feeding into a slow but determined recovery process. So this is the present line. There are a lot of people that are really upset about this, understandably. I am one of them. But it looks like there's going to be a whistleblower. Things are going to be all right. We're going to be able to move forward. Okay? And I'm seeing the Knight of Pentacles with the Two of Pentacles. That decision for the judge to do the sentencing prior to the inauguration is actually going to serve as the opposite of what other people were hoping for. It's going to push Trump into office. It's going to really push him into office, and it's going to stabilize our government, because I feel that, oh my God, there's going to be exposure. This is not Trump going to jail. This is exactly why I wasn't meant to pick up the cards and throw another spread out. Here it is. I said it's going to push some people out. This exposure is going to expose certain players that are going to be forced out of office and behind bars themselves. This is why I kept saying that word backfire. This is it. Someone pushing an agenda is going to be the one behind bars. Boom. There's a boom for you. Now, to close this reading off, I just want to kind of say, key points of this is that the sentencing of Donald Trump prior to the inauguration, it was carefully calculated. It was a carefully calculated move in order to influence things, and it was influenced by competing priorities and institutional powers that's coming from the Chariot and the Two of Pentacles and the Hierophant. And at present, the chaos and unpredictability that kind of dominate right now, with a risk of fallout, that's this line here, leading to some kind of disappointment. It's like the people behind the scenes are going to be disappointed in the results. Like I said, it is backfiring. Okay? And moving forward, we've got new ideas and actions that are coming up, emerging. Page of Wands. Through uncertainty and hidden motives will persist, and a steady path forward will develop, even as the nation grapples with the emotional and practical consequences of these events. And the disappointment, somebody falling that they least expect in all this. I feel like somebody involved, highly respected. I'm seeing the center heart. I'm seeing this sword through the center. Being stabbed in the heart, betrayed. I'm seeing betrayal here. And it's like even Trump feels betrayed by this person. We can take guesses all day long who it is, but we will find out soon enough. Now I'm allowed to pick up the cards. Because the last thing I want to do before I close this reading off actually is look at I wanted to throw a few of the prediction deck out. See if we could get any other predictions in regards to this inauguration. I did do a pre-shuffle ahead of time, but I'll do another one now. Yeah, cards are stiff. Okay. And I was going to pull them from the top, and they told me no. Let them choose. Okay, they said that's enough. Now, some of these I'm feeling like may not be completely, because the way that they fell out was a little bit odd. Let's take a look here. The first one out, planned outcome. So, that's just a sinking ship. Let me just lay them out. Planned outcome, a sinking ship. Mainstream news. Holy shit. Okay. Consequence, damage done. Trains or transportation. Social media. Social media, I feel like goes with that. Experiment or test. Well, no, that goes over here. They're telling me do it this way. Okay. And tsunami, rising water. Okay. Somebody's got one hell of a lesson coming, don't they? Right off the bat, I get of this planned outcome. The planned outcome involves sinking a ship. And I'm not seeing this as a literal ship, Trump's ship. So the planned outcome was to sink his ship. Okay? Through major, and spreading that through the major news networks. And there has been some damage done and consequences here that are going to have to be paid. There's consequences to this plan. We have transportation, trains, and we have social media. Transporting, social media. Word on social media is gonna go crazy over testing the waters on this about how people are going to feel, because there's a rising tsunami here. Even though I feel that there's a positive outcome, I think that there's a lot of damage done to the credibility of certain people. And there is an emotional wave coming. That emotional wave is going to wipe some people out. Some people are getting fired up. a test through the news networks to try to sink Trump's ship, there's consequences to that. I'm still not convinced that Trump is not going to do some sort of jail time. Maybe brief, maybe for a few days or something like that. Because I get this transportation also of maybe him doing the inauguration remotely through social networks. And this is also an experiment through the networks, social media networks, major mainstream networks, an experiment for the inauguration from a remote location. And my mind goes back to that moon card and think things aren't as they seem. He may have the American flag and have some kind of backdrop, and him being in a suit, but people not knowing where he's at. And it feels like there's a reason why they're going to make an excuse. I want to pull these three cards out because I feel this is talking about there's an experiment with mainstream news and social media. Okay, this is a transportation of news. Okay, now, this might be what the hidden truth is in the future about the inauguration that is going to piss a lot of people off. But I want to know why have the inauguration at a remote location. That's what I'm picking up. First I thought, they'll put him out in front of the people and then he'll whisk him away. I'm not feeling that. News networks, social media networks, an experiment here with transportation. It feels like the transportation is about the transporting of the news, the transmitting of the inauguration. I am not seeing the inauguration being stopped. I would have expected to see cards like the Death card or Ten of Swords card, Four of Swords card. Certain cards I would have expected to see to stop the inauguration. But they're going to give an excuse as to why it's remote. And I feel it has something to do with the public. Oh, we need to protect the president. He's already had several attempts on him. It's like some kind of story that we are fed that's not the actual truth. Okay. Or could this whole sentencing be a fake? Okay, this reading might be a little bit longer. Okay. Show me what's going on here. Why remote? Business tycoon and for the greater good. The business tycoon is Trump. Okay? And the excuse, like I said, for his greater good, having the inauguration remote. Health matter. For his safety. I shit you not. I can't make that up. The excuse for having it remote is going to be for his safety. For his highest good. Let's go to this deck. I'm looking to see if this whole sentencing thing is a ruse. Because Something doesn't seem right. I went through that whole reading. Somebody did want him out of the way, but a whole sentencing. Is he actually going to be in jail? Or is that just a story? That's what I'm looking for. Is Trump actually going to be in jail? Got the Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. Something's been planned. A burden. He's going to be comfortable. There is this planned outcome. For some kind of burden. That's interesting. But what I'm getting is, I'm definitely getting protection. Protective. You know, the Queen of Pentacles is nurturing. She's nurturing that pentacle. She cares about that pentacle. She's protecting it. I feel like this was thought out as a means of protection of Donald Trump. It's not going to be easy to pull this off. In fact, it kind of is maybe even a burden to maintain this elaborate ruse. That's what I'm saying. There's something going to be revealed about this. The more I think about it, I'm thinking about all that previous reading. But this is like the betrayal, the betrayal, the betrayal. Not of Trump, of his opposition. I have to ask about that, the judge. It's like he went back and forth. Should I or shouldn't I? Should I wait, do it before or do it after the inauguration? And he's being pushed into before because somebody wanted Trump out of office. Now, it almost feels like he does what they say, but there's a stipulation to the sentencing. And that's what's kind of hidden under the surface. Okay. And it feels like, it doesn't feel like he's going to jail. Feels like it's the appearance of. Why would the judge, how do I want to ask this? Daisy, stop. Is the judge betraying Trump's opposition? Is the judge betraying Trump's opposition? Oh, we've got the Four of Wands, we've got the Hermit, and the Two of Swords. Wise. The judge is relying on his wisdom as far as the housing, the White House. That's something he's turning a blind eye to. But betraying, this is like a truce. He's turning his back on an agreement. And he's shedding some light for stability. Furthermore, the judge here whatever he decides, there's going to be a sense of celebration. He has went within, probably struggled internally with this. And the Two of Swords also means a delay. So it feels like the celebration is coming up because it's a win for Trump, because he's looking straight at that, but delaying the start of the sentencing. In other words, Trump is getting sentenced, but his date to start his sentence is delayed with the Two of Swords. And this judge has received a lot of fucking heat from unknown sources. And he is keeping that to himself. The judge is not going to squeal, but the judge is not going to tell who was putting this pressure on him to make a move. So there's a little bit of a compromise here. He's like, okay, I'll sentence Trump before inauguration. But his wise wisdom, he thought about the impact on the country, the impact on the citizen, and even his own political future. He wanted to do the right thing. So he initiates a sentencing, but he's going to delay imposing that sentencing. Okay, I think I've got some, I think that makes a lot of clarity. And this whole thing is showing the judge was in a precarious situation, and he was going back and forth with a decision that indeed favors Trump in unexpected ways. The Four of Wands implies a resolution that benefits one side, excuse me, while the Hermit, Two of Swords, suggests that the judge's decision will be influenced by internal reflection and external pressures. And this may feel like a betrayal to Trump's opposition if the judge's actions leads to outcomes that stabilizes Trump's position or shifts the momentum in his favor. That Three of Swords keeps sticking in my mind. That betrayal. So, this might be worth a follow-up reading after the inauguration as we move forward through Trump's administration, because I'm curious about the onset of I just heard pardon. It's like after his term is over, the next president pardons Trump. Holy shit. Okay, I'm done. I know you're probably tired of hearing me rant on, but this was terribly, terribly interesting to me. And make sure I didn't mix up any decks. Nope. Okay, that's it for now. And I think this is a good place to drop the mic.